Ready series. And this is the program series that's designed for students in pre-kindergarten all the way to 3rd grade in order to teach them the skills they'll need to be successful in early elementary school. And those skills range from anywhere from choosing just right books, phonics, vocabulary, handwriting, and all that other fun stuff. Now, this series is for students in 1st grade who are interested in picking up the skills they'll need in order to be successful in 2nd grade next year, as well as for our students who are already in 2nd grade who just want to review what they've already learned the previous year. So, for this month's session, we are going to be talking about one set of guidelines that you can use in order to choose books that are just right for you to read. Hold on one second. Alright, sorry about that. But before we do that, we're going to, as usual, we're going to be reading a couple of books. Now, like I said, these books are a little bit more challenging. We're actually stepping it up a little bit. Well, actually, we're not stepping it up just yet, but they're still the same books. They're a little bit more challenging than what we've read previously, but they're still simple enough to follow through. And the rules are, I always point to words so you can follow along, and if you know a word that's familiar to you, you can shout it out. But we'll start with our 2 simple, easy reader books. Now, the first book I'm going to be reading to you today is from a very popular children's book series, and it's now a Netflix TV series. Does anybody know what that series is? Well, if you guessed Llama Llama, you are correct. And the book we are going to be reading today is Llama Llama Loses a Tooth. And this is based on the Llama Llama children's book series, which was written by Anna Dewdney. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Alright, so Llama Llama Loses a Tooth, based on the children's book series by Anna Dewdney. And this book was written and illustrated by the Anna Dewdney Literary Trust. And the publisher, now just so you know, the author is the person who writes the words to the story. And the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures of the story. This corporation that I just mentioned did both. And then we have the publisher, which is that company or organization that puts the book all together into print and sends it to the bookstores to sell. And the publisher for this book is Penguin Young Readers, which is an imprint of Penguin Random House LLC. Alright, so with that being said, are we ready to begin? Alright, here we go. Llama Llama carries a box of his toys. Mama Llama carries a box, a bag, and a ball. Crash! Uh-oh. Looks like it's spilt. That's not good. Sorry, says Mama. I don't want to bump my loose tooth, says Llama. He wants it to fall out on its own. He will put it under his pillow. Why do you think he wants to put his tooth under the pillow? What do you think, boys and girls? Is there a reason? Well, let's see what happens next. Llama smiles at Mama. "Oh no, Llama, your tooth already fell out," Mama says. "But where did it go?" Uh-oh, it looks like it already fell out. Where could it have fallen to? Let's find out. They remember the places they visited that day. Nellie New's house, Luna Giraffe's house, Daddy New's bakery, and the park. So he visited 4 different places. It could have fallen out anywhere. Where do you think it is, boys and girls? Well, why don't we move along? Mama hugs Llama. "Don't worry, we'll look here first," she says. Mama shakes Llama's bed blanket. Llama plays while they look. They have fun. But they don't find Llama's tooth. So the tooth is not in the house. Where is it? All right, here we go. Next, they look in the kitchen. Llama sees his reflection in the kettle. His ears droop. "Oh, where is my tooth?" he moans. He's sad because he can't find his tooth. And without his tooth, he can't put it under his pillow. Oh, no. Here we go. Let's see what else happens. Mama and Llama visit Nellie New. They look in her yard. Llama finds an earthworm. Llama finds a pretty pebble. So he's finding a lot of interesting stuff, but not his tooth. Let's see what else happens. They swing high to look more. Whee! Whoopee! They have fun, but they don't find Llama's tooth. Oh no! Then they visit Luna. "I found the tooth!" cries Nellie. "Sorry," says Luna. "These are beads for my art." Mama Llama hugs Llama. "We'll keep looking," she says. So 2 places and no tooth. Oh no, where could it be? They visit Daddy New's bakery. The tooth is not there. More friends join the hunt. They go to the park. They march around and look for the tooth. They have fun. But they don't find Llama's tooth. Oh no. They went everywhere they visited and still no tooth. Where could it have gone? Well, let's see. They look in the sandbox. Harry the Arctic Hare helps too. calls Harry, but it is only a piece of shell. Harry gives Llama ice cream to cheer him up. Ice cream always helps, right, boys and girls? Then Llama Llama remembers. We went to Gram and Grandpa's house, he says. Oh, they may find it there. There they check the yard and kitchen. They don't find Llama's tooth. Everyone goes back to Llama's house to look some more. They find many lost things, but they don't find Llama's tooth. Oh no, it looks like the tooth may have disappeared. That's sad. What do you think? Do you think he'll find it? Well, let's see what happens. Llama is sad at bedtime. Then he hears music outside. Gram is playing her flute. Gram says, "My flute made awful noises tonight, and when I turned it over, look what popped out." Oh no, what could it be, boys and girls? Gram hands it to Mama. It's Llama Llama's tooth. Yay, the tooth was found. Then Llama remembers. He blew on Gram's flute in her kitchen. His tooth must have fallen out then. Finally, Llama puts the tooth under his pillow. Well, let's see what happens. In the morning, Llama checks under his pillow. The tooth is gone, but now there are coins instead. Yippee! He cheers. So they finally found his tooth. And when he woke up the next morning after putting it under his pillow, guess what he got? Looks like he got coins. Isn't that cool? Now who has lost a tooth yet? Many of you probably have, some of you haven't, but that's okay. You will start losing your baby teeth, but you'll get bigger teeth in its place. And sometimes if you do put it under your pillow at night, you may find a surprise the next morning. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this story. I hope you could relate to it, boys and girls. I could certainly relate to when I was in first grade. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. But let's move on to our next story. This story is about getting a new pet. Who has pets, boys and girls? And if you don't have pets yet, who's thinking about getting a pet? Now, if you think about getting, what type of pet would you like if you wanted a pet, boys and girls? Well, there are many different pets to choose from. And sometimes people prefer different animals for pets over others, which is the case in this next book, Leo's New Pet. And what do you think this pet is, boys and girls? What does that look like to you? Looks like it's a pet hamster. But let's see. Now this is part of an Easy Reader series called Tadpoles. And the editor for this series is Jackie Hamley. The advisor for the series is Dr. Hilary Minns. The series designer is Peter Scoulding. And the proofreader of the book is Reagan Miller. Now, for Leo's new pet, the author of the book is Mick Gowar. The illustrator is Richard Morgan. And the publisher is Crabtree Publishing Company. Alright, let's get started. Leo had a new pet. A tiny hamster. Ooh. He didn't have a name. We'll give him a name tomorrow, says Dad. What do you think is a good name for a hamster, boys and girls? I'll give you a minute to think about that. Just give me 1 minute while you think. Alright, let's see what they name him eventually. And it's time to go to sleep. We'll see him in the morning, said Dad. Alright, let's see what they name him. Oh no! He's gone! Cried Leo. Looks like the cage door got open. Take a look, where's the hamster? Looks like he's over there. Oh no, let's see what happens. Is he behind the TV? No, said Leo. Oh no, where do you think he could have gone? Do you see him, boys and girls? Oh no. Oh! He's under the couch. There he is. Let's see if he gets a name now. Call him, said Dad. But he hasn't got a name, said Leo. How can you call your hamster if he doesn't have a name yet? Oh no. Well, let's find out what his name will eventually be. Will he come out for a carrot? No, said Leo. So he doesn't want a carrot. Let's try peanuts, said Leo. So he's leaving a whole roll of peanuts by the cage, and look what's happening. What do you see, boys and girls? Looks like the hamster may be eating them. Let's see if that's the case. And it looks like he ate all the peanuts and is now back in his cage. I know what to call him, said Leo. Peanut. Alright, and that is the end of the story. What did you think about this one? That seemed crazy with the hamster escaping and all. But it looks like everything everything went good in the end, and Leo finally gave his hamster a name. But having a pet, while it can be fun, it's also a lot of work, as Leo saw. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed these two stories today. I certainly enjoyed reading them to you. But before we wrap up today, I'm just going to be going over one set of guidelines to choosing a book that is just right. Now, before I do that, I just want to let you know that these guidelines I got, while you can find them anywhere, I got these from the website Reading Eggs. So if you're interested in this article, as well as other similar articles, please click on the web link in the video description. Now, before I tell you some guidelines, there are books are grouped into 3 different categories, and these books, based on how old you are or on how much you read, can change. What books can go from one category to another, depending. But the first category is the easy books, which means for easy books, it means you understand them, you enjoy them, they're very simple to read, and you could read through one book very, very quickly. The next category books could be in is challenging. And these books will have difficult words. It may be hard to understand what's happening in the book sometimes. It'll take quite a bit of time to read through it. It could take days or weeks to finish a book. That type of book. And then there are books that are just right. And what that is there's going to be some words that are a bit challenging at times, and you may have a little bit of difficulty on understand what's going on in the book in the beginning, but eventually you'll understand it as you progress. But you don't find it frustrating as you might a challenging book. It may take a few days to complete, but you'll complete it in a good amount of time. Now, the just right category, parents, is what your children should be reading mostly when they're reading books. Those just right books give your child a bit of a challenge in order to learn new words and read new books. Alright, so how do you know if a book is just right? Well, there are many different ways to locate a book that's just right for your child. One set of guidelines that's very simple to use is called the 5-finger rule. Now, this is not the end-all tell-all for choosing a just right books. It's just a suggestion to use. If you have other methods for choosing books for your child, please, you can use those as well. Like I said, this is not an end-all tell-all. These are just merely one set of guidelines that you can use if you want to. But it's very simple. It's very simple to use. And here's how you do it. If your child shows you a book they want to read, what you do is have them turn to a random page in the book and read the whole page. Just one page. Once they finish that page, they don't have to read it anymore. And they're going to hold up a fist like this. As they're reading the book, if they come across a word that they don't know how to say, they put up a finger. And they do this for each word that they don't know. Now, if they're reading a page and they get up to 5 fingers, have them stop, even if they don't finish the page. But if they don't have 5 fingers up and they finish the page, have them stop. And once they finish that page, here's how it will go. If they finished reading the page and they held up 0 fingers, or they only held up 1 finger, what that means is this book will probably have a lot of words that your child will know and they'll understand what the book is about, and it's most likely going to be too easy for your child. Now, if they finish reading the page and they've held up 2 fingers in the end, it means the book is just right. There's going to be some words that they're going to have a challenge with, but there's going to be a little bit more words that they know. But those words that they don't know is going to give them enough of a challenge to allow them to learn brand new words as they're reading. And they'll be able to read it on their own with minimal help. So if they hold up 2 fingers, keep the book. It'll be just right for them. Now, if your child finishes the page and then he or she holds up 3 fingers, that means there are a little bit more challenging there's a little bit more amount of challenging words in the book, probably, but they'll still understand most of the words for the book, and it will be a bit of a challenge for them to read. However, if your child is very, very motivated to read and they're up for that challenge, by all means, let them read the book. Let them try to read the book on their own. Just be on standby in case they need a little help. Now, if they finish reading the page and they hold up 4 fingers, what that means is there's going to be more words in there that are challenging for your child than not, and it may be a little too difficult for them to read on their own. Now, if you were on hand and were willing to help them out, or if you had the time to sit with them and read it with them and help them out, by all means, they can read the book. But otherwise, if there's a situation where somebody's not going to be, an adult won't be nearby to help them, and they're reading it on their own, it may be a little bit better for them to try a different book. And then finally, if they finish the page and hold up 5 fingers, or they manage to get up to 5 fingers before they even finish the page, that means the book is pretty much going to be too difficult for them. It's going to have a lot of words they don't understand, and at this point it's probably best that they select another book to read. Now, with that being said, so the best books for your child, which will most likely be just right, are ones with that they held up 2 fingers for, or if they want a challenge, they held up 3 fingers for. Now, with that said, is it okay for your child to read easy books? The answer is yes, every once in a while. And that is the key phrase, every once in a while. While it's very nice that they're reading their just right books and they need that challenge in order to motivate them to read more and learn new words, sometimes on certain days it's just nice to sit back and read a book, have your child sit back and read a book that they really enjoy, even if it is too simple for them. Sometimes it's nice to have that little bit of a break and just go back to a favorite childhood story. And sometimes parents, you can even read it together with your child and go back to those favorite story times. But that's good. But like I said, it's good if you do it every once in a while. I would not suggest your child read an easy book every day. Because what happens is, if the books are too easy, eventually your child will get bored, will think that reading is too simple, and they're not going to want to read anything at all. So every once in a while for that break is fine, but don't read easy books on a regular basis. On the other hand, is it okay for your child to read a book that's challenging? The answer for that is yes. Let them give it a try every once in a while, especially if you're there to help. And especially if they're really showing interest in the book and they really want to give it a try. If they really have their heart set on that book, by all means, let them give it a try. However, if they're struggling to read on their own and they don't want to read the book anymore, it's okay to let them stop. But just continue to praise them for their efforts. Don't pressure them to read the whole book. But keep praising them for making an effort. If they guess words that are challenging, just heap on the praise and just give them that encouragement they need. If they want to try a challenging book, be nearby to help them out. And help them if they get stuck on a tricky word. And if they don't want to read the book anymore because it's too challenging, you can always say they can read it later when they've read more books and help them select another book instead. But with that being said, it's okay for your child to try out a challenging book every once in a while. If you let them try it all the time, what will happen is they'll start to struggle and they'll feel really discouraged and they won't want to read. So the key phrase here is, for enough of a challenge and to motivate your child to read, always find books that are just right for them. And if you still have difficulty finding just right books, please visit us here at the library. Myself and the other children's librarians are more than happy to help you out. Now, when you register for this program, you received a kit with these guidelines as well as some book lists for first grade readers for your child. And like I said, if you need assistance in selecting out books, please visit us here at the library and we're more than happy to help you out. But anyway, I hope you had a good time today. I am looking forward to next month already. But until then, please check out the other children's programs, either in person or virtually, that myself, as well as the other children's librarians here, have to offer at the West Hampton Free Library. But until next time, this is Miss Brianne saying take good care of yourselves, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.